So it's crazy working on these EDM covers, basically like making tropical edits, if you will, or tropical versions of these EDM tunes, is super, super helpful. It's revealing a ton to me that in theory I knew, but in practice, once I saw it in practice, it changed my life. It really did. It changed my learning. It excelled it much faster. So, quick tip today: experiment with hits. Look at something that's classic and sort of timeless, like Avicii levels, or in my case, it was Skrillex, Scary Monsters and Nice Sprites, or even something newer, like I said in a previous video, with Marshmello alone. Just the melodies and the counter melodies and the way that the sounds change in that song, and trying to sort of recreate that, but also put my own twist on it. Game changer. A big thing about that you'll hear too is when you start to get really close to the sounds that the bigger tune, like in this case Marshmello, when you get close to his sounds, then you start to actually understand way more about mixing, because what's starting to happen there is you're hearing, okay, so he's using basically the same bass line that I have. We're like 90% the same sound. But why does his sound so different? Then you develop an appreciation for where things are sitting in the stereo field, the mix down, the loudness of it, the compression, reverb, delay, space. So it really is, it's so important, and it's so crazy. Like, my biggest problem was that I was looking at popular music through my own judgmental filter, and although I'm not a huge fan of pop music, a big thing to not forget is that it's still composed and arranged and mixed and mastered by, maybe not the top people, although it arguably is, but like, some top people. So, and these people aren't just throwing stuff at a wall and hoping that it sticks. There's a method to the madness, and it can be figured out. But just kind of listening and watching and reading about it, that's almost like, I was going to say that's not enough, but to be honest with you, that's like the least of it. Not only is that not enough, but like that's the last thing you want to do, in my opinion. You're way, way better off either getting a project file, or just going on like YouTube and just streaming the song and bouncing back and forth between your DAW, trying to recreate it in the song, and really understanding how they get a lot of their sounds going, and sitting in the mix and the arrangement of it. Like, that's a big thing I ignored for a long time, was arrangement. And it's not to say I didn't arrange my tracks. I mean, obviously I did, but like, once again, like, the way you hear and perceive things and judge things through your filter, it absolutely changes it. And even when you think you're doing it to the letter correctly with how you read that the stars do it or the pros do it, at least for me, it was incorrect. It was not the way that they did it. I was still putting my own slight little judgments on it here and there, and those slight little judgments really did make the difference. So, think about that. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later.